mat over a little bit. Yeah, perfect. Okay. I told Laura, she said she's having some issues with shoulder and elbow and wrist. So I'm at least just gonna go over this shoulder stuff for a second, that I think is very valuable. And I went over it the other day in my Tuesday class or something, and people are like, that was really helpful. So I'm gonna go over it, and you can take it into your mind and then explore it in your body while you practice today. When I teach something, it doesn't usually happen that like I teach it and then you're like, oh, I got it and I'm perfect at it every single time. So don't get discouraged if you're like, I don't even understand what she was talking about. Just keep it in your awareness, explore it. And then one day, it might be 5 years down the road, something might click and you're like, oh my God, that's what she was talking about with the shoulders. I finally got it. That's literally what happens to me in yoga all the time. Okay, so I want to talk about shoulder kind of safety and awareness. First of all, in down dog and then in chaturanga. So people do this thing in down dog all the time. And I don't want to say especially women, but it usually happens to be women just because we tend to be more flexible naturally in our shoulders or hypermobile in our joints. So if you can't see me, feel free to stand up if you need to. So, okay, so my down dog. If you watch my shoulders, this is what a lot of people like to do. Ready? Like this. So people are like, oh, I'm gonna get my spine so long, and they just press back like this. What's happening right now on my shoulders, I'm using absolutely no muscles, and I'm just hyperextending, and I'm basically pulling on my tendons, which is not a good thing. Over time, that's gonna do damage to my shoulders. So the difference here's pushing back with my hypermobility in my shoulders, ready? So just like that. Here's plugging my shoulders into the sockets, plugged in, strong. And then pressing back, not from my shoulders, but from my heart and lifting with my center. Does that make sense? So my shoulders are still plugged in, strong. They're still using strength. I am externally rotating them so they're not doing this. Are you ready? Watch. So they're not doing this. Externally rotated. And then I'm not doing this with my arms. I'm not rolling onto my outer wrists. I'm pressing into my thumbs and my index fingers. So my forearms are internally rotating. My upper arms and shoulders are externally rotating. My shoulders are plugged in and I'm pressing back with my mid back, with my chest and with my heart, but not by just hyperextending through my shoulders. You see the big, huge difference in those? Yes. And I know you see it in my body, but then you're like, I have no idea what my body looks like or what I'm doing. And that's okay. But just get curious. Like when you're in down dog, play around with all the different things you can do. And then what feels best for you. A lot of times I see people with their hands really narrow and their shoulders like this. So think about like if you're reaching your arms up, if your hands are really narrow, your shoulders are gonna be like this. If you take your arms out wider, you're giving your shoulders more space. So take your hands out wider. Take your hands out all the way to the width of your mat if you want to. Give your shoulders space. So a good way to feel that plugging in, if you don't know how, is cat-cows. So here's a cat, here's a cow. When you're in cow, your shoulders are plugged in. You keep that, and then just with your core, navel to spine. I keep my shoulders plugged in and I can go back. It's really hard to keep because you just want to do this. So yes, kind of, sort of. Any questions? Okay, next thing is chaturanga. And that's another huge thing that hurts our shoulders. Most people, when they do chaturanga, I have seen like, there's like all these iterations of things people like to do in chaturanga. Like one of my favorite things. First thing that people I think is really fun or it must look cool or something is this weird like slithery. Like we are not trying to go back and up. We are not trying to go slither through. All we're trying to do is lower down, one strong straight line, lower down. We're also, I never cue, if you've noticed, a lot of teachers cue, squeeze your elbows toward your ribs. I never cue that. I always keep a little bit of space in between my elbows and my ribs, because when we squeeze our elbows to our ribs, what usually happens for 90% of people is your shoulders roll forward. We want to keep our shoulders back. And it's super hard to keep our shoulders back while we're squeezing our elbows in and keeping our core engaged. Like, so elbows out a little bit, shoulders back. And this is the only movement we're doing. It's easy. But when we get all weird with stuff, that's when weird stuff starts to happen in our shoulders. So we never want our shoulders to roll forward when we're weight bearing. We always want our shoulders back. So chaturanga would look like this. That's one strong straight line. So if you've ever noticed, I say little rock forward on your tippy toes, and then slowly lower, strong straight line. Your hands and your feet don't even have to move through that whole entire sequence. Yes. So like this, if this is what happens to you, knees down, knees down. You want to think chest, then belly. So you can do that little rock forward, chest, then belly. A big thing, try not to roll onto your outer wrist. So you're pressing into here, shoulders back. The only thing that's happening is this. Cool? And again, don't feel like you have to be perfect at it today. Don't feel like every time your shoulders roll forward, you're gonna get like, you totally just bring it into your awareness, play with it, get curious about it. Hopefully it helps. Fingers, super important. If you are not engaging your hands, then your entire line going up is really not there. So spread your fingers, press into these fingers especially, while keeping this external rotation. Yes, so you can even see this external rotation, my shoulders just plug in when I do that. Yes? Okay. Should we do it now, yoga? Okay, any questions? Okay, let's do it. So just come to your comfortable seats if you're not there already. If you want to get some wiggles out, move around just a little bit. Bless you, feel free. And then slowly find your way to stillness. So close your eyes. Place your hands intentionally. So maybe that's on your lap. Maybe you want to bring your hands to your heart. Maybe one hand to your heart space, one hand to your belly. And just take these first few moments to really fully arrive on your mat, in your body, in this space, in this moment. So notice everything there is to notice. Feel everything there is to feel. So physical sensations, energetic sensations, and even emotions that might be present. Notice your inner world, your inner space, and the rise and fall of your breath as it moves through you. Next time you inhale, very intentionally fill up as big as you can. When you think you're full, see if you can even sip in just a little bit extra. And then big sigh, let it go. Good, 2 more like that. Inhale, fill up. Take a moment, pause, little bit extra if you can. Get taller, take up more space, hold. Big open mouth sigh, release. Good. One more time. So biggest inhale you've taken all morning long. Hold, and as you hold your breath, see if you can relax around your held breath. Soften your outer shell. When you're ready, open your mouth and let it go. Very nice. Seal your lips and start to drop in now to your ujjayi. So in and out through your nose by way of the back of your throat. So see if you can start to create that whisper noise, that oceanic sound, that deep diaphragmatic breath flows all the way down to your belly, and all the way to empty with every exhalation. And whenever you are ready to move, you can either start a little bit of movement from your seat, but eventually we'll come onto our hands and our knees. So no rush, in your own time, and take your breath with you. Transition onto your hands and your knees, your tabletop position. And once you are in your tabletop, just intuitive exploration, intuitive, creative movement through your physical body. So it can look a million different ways. And if it's helpful, keep your eyes closed. So don't worry about how you look. And especially don't worry if you look weird or ugly. I think a lot of times moving in a weird or ugly way feels really good. So get curious about that. See if you can breathe into the tight spaces. Maybe spend a little time there. You want to sit back into a child's pose and just find a sense of grounding for a moment. Or maybe roll your forehead side to side against the ground. So many ways to explore. And if you come to my class often and you're used to doing this exercise, try not to get into any habits or patterns. So don't do the same thing every time in the same order, but feel into this moment. And what does your body want right now? In your next few breaths, no rush. Downward facing dog. So as you move back into your down dog, do it with intention, with awareness. Take in all those little cues and clues I gave you and just see, is there a way you can kind of translate them into your own body? Or just get curious about feeling your shoulders really drop into the sockets. Maybe get curious about feeling your fingers spreading a little bit wider, your hands coming out a little bit wider. So see if you can feel space in your shoulders, that external rotation. Nice, Crystal. See if you can feel a connection to your center. So it should never feel like all of your weight is coming down into your hands. You want to feel like the weight is being lifted up, or at least the energy is being lifted up. So imagine an invisible rope. It's attached to your belly button, and it's literally pulling up towards the ceiling, tugging towards the top corner of the back wall. And then where is your breath? Is it still there? Is it still big and spacious? And can you use it to support you, to hold you? So rather than feeling like your breath is fighting against you, use it to your advantage. Take one more huge inhalation. As you exhale, gaze to the top of your yoga mat, step, tiptoe, or hop, forward fold. Give yourself a moment once you're in your fold just to hang out. So if you want, ragdoll pose, grab opposite elbows, maybe hands behind your back, interlace your fingers. Personally, I like my feet at least hips width distance apart here. All of my toes face forward. If you like your feet closer together, that's okay. But wherever you're at, be there very intentionally. Keep your weight forward, so not rocking back into your heels. If you do rock back into your heels, it's a complete adjustment of your pelvis to switch it up. So bend your knees a lot and then rock forward into your toes, balls of your feet. Your heels are still on the ground, but they're really light. And see if you can lift your butt by using more core strength. Relax your neck, maybe a little bob or a sway. See if you can still feel your big deep breath. One more. Thanks, Eric. As you inhale, halfway lift position, so spine parallel to the ground. Get all the rounding out of your back, stick your butt way out and reach the top of your head way forward. Nice, Andrea. Exhale, fold. So butt towards the sky, crown towards the ground, navel to spine, and then do that one more time. Halfway lift. So those two poses should feel extremely different. Exhale, fold, and bow. This time, come through your halfway lift and keep rising. So lead with your heart, arms to the sky. Hands to heart center as you exhale. Flow with your breath, slowly and intentionally. Inhale, high mountain. See if you can feel a neutral pelvis and a neutral spine as you reach. Exhale, swan dive, butt sticks out, heart goes forward, and then let it go. Nice. Halfway lift position, breathe in. It's like you're gazing over the edge of a diving board, so gaze down, back of your neck long. Exhale, fold, release. Now from the press of your feet, lead with your heart, rise up, arms to the sky, inhale, big stretch. Exhale, hands to heart center. Let's add just a little baby back bend. So inhale, reach up. Now listen as you exhale, cactus your arms, and that's all you do for now. So bring your arms into this goalpost position. Now hug in with your inner thighs like you're squeezing an invisible block. So really hug in, and you should feel stability in your pelvis and a little bit of engagement through your core. Keep hugging in. Start to press your hips gently forward. Now squeeze your shoulder blades towards your spine and lift your sternum, lift your gaze. Try not to let your head collapse back. Imagine you're trying to now take your elbows forward and up. Keep hugging with your inner thighs. Press your hips gently forward. One more breath. Lots of strength in your back body. Inhale back to center. See if you can feel neutral. And then exhale, swan dive down. Stick your butt out, heart forward. Let it go. Good. Halfway lift position as you inhale. So shoulder blades hug your spine like you're squeezing a pencil in between your shoulder blades. Exhale, fold. This time, plant your hands and step back to your plank pose. So spread your fingers really wide, push the ground away. If your knees are lifted, squeeze through the fronts of your thighs. So see if you can get your quad muscles to fire. If you want to, your knees can come down at any time. Start to take just little baby rocks forward and back. Keep pushing the ground away. Keep drawing your belly button in and up. Breathe into your back body, good Sally. Nice, you guys. Take one more big inhale, that little rock forward on your tippy toes. Come to your knees if you want to. Exhale, lower just halfway. Check, are your shoulders rolling forward or are they plugged in? Inhale, push back up, high plank. Do that one more time. Exhale, little rock forward. Belly strong, arms strong. Hold. Inhale, push up. Good, and then exhale, slow as you can go, all the way down. Nice job, good awareness. Grow into a back bend of your choice. So you choose where you wanna go. Maybe it's a spider, man cobra, sphinx, baby cobra, up dog. Nice, and then in your own time, downward facing dog. Big, spacious breaths, Ujjayi, powerful and strong. So can you feel it? And can you also hear it? All right, from your down dog, next time you breathe in, take your right leg to the sky. And keep your hips square for this one and just explore over squaring your hips for a moment. So rotate your right toes in like you're pigeon toeing your right foot and lower your right leg more than you think that you need to. See if you can feel something different. See if you can feel your inner thighs squeeze together or your core turn on just a little bit more. Maybe, maybe not, I don't know, but just get curious about that. If you felt more of a connection to your center, see if you can keep that, but just come back to neutral with square hips. So not overdoing it, but keeping whatever you felt that you now know is there. So we're just connecting to new parts, finding new awareness, using our breath. Take one more big inhale. Awesome, you look so good. Exhale, right knee to your nose. So scoop out your belly. Your shoulders are over your wrist, round your spine, breathe in and push the ground away. On your back, tippy toes, and then step through softly, low lunge. Give yourself a moment to just stretch your legs in any way that you want to this morning. So maybe your back knee comes down, Maybe you straighten your front leg. Maybe you work into your front hip. So this is your own. Doesn't matter how you look. All you have to truly do is put your awareness in your legs and breathe. So you don't even have to move if it's just feeling into your legs. Perfectly fine. Sending your breath there. Awesome. Your next couple rounds, spine crescent lunge. Nice, Maggie. So front knee over front ankle, high on the ball of your back foot. A lot of times people think it's going to be easier if their stance is short. I personally feel like it's a lot harder. So see if you can find your widest stance and then hug in. So really squeeze your inner thighs. Again, it's kind of like you're overdoing the squaring off of your hips, and then feel that connection. Navel to spine. Heart lifts, gaze lifts. One more inhale. As you exhale, cactus your arms and bend your back knee to a hover, turbo lunge. If you want, stay here or even modify by bringing your back knee gently to the ground. If you want, add a back bend. So remember, bottom tips of shoulder blades squeeze, press your heart forward and up. See if you can feel the back bend coming not from your low back so much as your mid and your upper back. Awesome, Mary Jo. Take one more round wherever you're at. Good. Beautiful. Inhale back to crescent, reach up. So neutral spine, straighten your back leg if you can. Nice, Laura. Exhale, hands come down. Let's root into our right foot. Standing splits, left leg to the sky. You choose here. Do you want to keep your hips square? Do you want to open your hips a little more? I don't care what you do. Neither one is right or wrong, but try not to sink into your outer right hip. So hug in and then lift from your center. Navel to spine. Ah, awesome, Sophia. Breathe, soften your face. See if you can spread your left toes. If you want to play with a couple of handstand hops, if you want to play with your balance, go for it. Right arm behind right leg. So see if you can allow yourself to be uncomfortable for just a couple of breaths and breathe into it. Know that it's only temporary. Take one more inhale. Awesome, M. And forward fold. Step your left foot down next to right. Maybe your right leg wants a little shake out, or maybe you want to kind of pedal out your heels. Next time you breathe in, spinal extension, halfway lift position. Exhale, fold, bow, root through your feet, rise all the way to stand, arms to the sky. Exhale, hands to heart. All right, this time, inhale, take your arms up. And as you exhale, bring your hands behind your back as if you are about to put them in your back pockets. So fingers face down. And if you would like, if this bothers your wrists at all, maybe your thumbs face in, fingers wrap around your waist, or make fists with your hands instead. Everybody, focus on elbows pointing straight back, shoulders rolling down and back. Hug your invisible block with your inner thighs and start to press your hands forward into your hips, but at the same time, press your hips back into your hands. Keep pointing your elbow tips straight back behind you. Lift your sternum, lift your gaze. You can stay here, or if you think you can hold this exact same shape, bring your arms to cactus. So stay connected to your center. Keep hugging in with your inner thighs. Now, if your arms are in cactus, press your elbow tips forward and up. Go just a little deeper. Take one more round. Everybody, as you inhale, neutral. So come back to a neutral spine, take your arms up. As you exhale, listen, bend your knees, bring your hands to the tops of your thighs. Feet are at least hips width distance apart. Just take some standing cat-cows or take some circles with your torso. So just kind of neutralizing your spine after that big back bend. So working the flexion, that's rounding, and extension, that's arching, and then everything in between. As you're ready, as you feel complete here, no rush. Eventually, just all the way down into a forward fold. Good. Reconnect to your breath, slow and steady. Inhale. Take your, or let's say inhale, halfway lift. And then exhale, let it go. Now plant your hands and take your feet back, plank. Move through your vinyasa on your own. So you can add a couple push-ups if you want to. You can take it on your knees. Awesome, Eric. So with awareness, if you want an extra couple rounds in your heart opener, eventually back to downward facing dog. Shoulders plugged in. Thumbs and index fingers rooted down. Belly button lifting you up. From your down dog, inhale your left leg to the sky. So inner thighs face each other, hips are square, and then maybe overdo it just for a second and see how it feels. See if anything changes. That's it. Yes, very good. I love it. So maybe you connected more to your sensor. Maybe it feels really weird and awkward. Maybe you've never felt it before. See if you can just be curious about it. Breathe into the discomfort. You guys look good. Awesome. Take one more inhale. Exhale. Good, Chris. Left knee to your nose. So scoop out your belly, round your spine. Stay here as you breathe in. Push the ground away. So round through your mid back. And then step forward softly, low lunge. Take a moment to just stretch your legs on this side. So maybe back knee comes down. Maybe you open your front hip. Maybe you straighten your front leg. Nice, Scotty. So just feeling around what's there. And maybe all you do is close your eyes. Visualize your breath moving into your legs. Next couple of rounds, crescent lunge. Nice, Terry. So front knee over front ankle, hips are square. Overdo it and just see how it feels. So for me, I'm like, oh yeah, my hips are square. And then I overdo it. I'm like, whoa, I just got so much more stable through my legs. So try to stay curious. You might think you're doing something for 5 years, and then one day you're like, oh my gosh, for 5 whole years, I thought my hips were square and they weren't. Yay, you look so good. Little tone through your lowest, deepest abdominals. Heart lifts. Side bodies elongate. One more inhale. Thanks, Rachel. Exhale, turbo. So cactus your arms. Bend your back knee to a hover. Imagine you're trying to drag your back thigh forward. If you want to modify, back knee can come gently down. If you'd like, move into your back bend. Remember, it comes from your mid and your upper back, not so much your low back. Yeah. So lift your sternum. Soften your face. Take one more round. Nice, Brandy. Inhale back to crescent. Arms reach up, neutral spine. Back leg straight if you can. Exhale, hands down. Left foot roots down, standing splits. And you choose, hips can open up or hips can stay square. They're just different ways of being in the pose, different ways of working the pose. Biggest thing, try not to sink into your outer left hip. So you're still hugging in, you're still lifting up from your belly button. If you want, you can take a couple hops, you can play with your balance, left arm behind left leg. Yeah, beautiful. Right leg strong, right foot active, awesome, Cam. One more big inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Take your right foot down to the top of your space. If your left leg wants a little shake out, take it. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, bow, let it go. Root through your feet, rise all the way up, arms reach. Exhale, hands to your heart. Or one hand to your heart, one hand to your belly. And we're gonna pause here and do a little breath practice. Breath of fire. We'll go to the beat of the music. So it's just a strong exhale coming all the way down from your belly. Inhale happens on its own. It can be through your nose or your mouth. And if you're not enjoying it, you can just breathe slow, deep breaths. I'll get us started. You can join me whenever you're ready. It goes like this. So I'm going to take a big inhale. And here we go. All the way down from your gut. Push it out. Ha, ha. Stay with it. In, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hold out. So exhale, 2, 3. Good. In, hold. And then when you're ready, just sigh out your mouth. Ah, bring your arms down by your sides, palms open. And just stand for a moment with your eyes closed. Feel the energy inside of your body. See if you can come back to Ujjayi. So slow, steady, spacious. From your feet all the way up to the crown of your head, allow energy to flow through. Let's stay as we are. Breathe in as big as we can. One more time. Inhale, hold in fullness. Take up more space. Your body like a mountain. And then big sigh. Let it go. Ah. Ujjayi. Take your arms to the sky. Baby back bend as you exhale. So use your back strength. Curl, open, lift. Inhale, re-extend, realign, reach high. Swan dive as you exhale all the way down. Forward fold. Halfway lift. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, plant your hands, feet back, slowly lower down. See if you can keep that exhale going. So moving with breath, lift your heart, breathe in. Exhale, down dog. Right leg to the sky. Inhale, strong through your leg, through your foot. Listen, exhale, right knee, left elbow. Use your obliques, push the ground away. Good. Inhale, three-legged. Stretch it out. Exhale, right to right. Aim for your armpit. If you want, add a push-up. Don't let your shoulders roll forward. Inhale, three-legged. Good. This time, knee to your nose. Step through softly. Low lunge. Inhale, crescent lunge. Rise up. Strong legs. Exhale, turbo, or add your back bend. Lift your heart. Yes. Inhale, back to crescent. We're adding on. As you exhale, bring your hands to your front thigh. Lean forward. If it's helpful, you can scoot your back foot in a little bit. So hug in with your inner thighs. Find that connection to center. Belly button pulls in and up. When you're ready, lean forward more and float your back foot off the ground. Back leg is strong, so really important so that your back leg doesn't feel super heavy. See if you can make your back leg active, back foot active, like you're stomping it onto the invisible wall behind you. Nice, Rachel. Square off your hips. So overdo it and see if there's something that happens, a connection that you find you didn't even know was there before. Option to add some arms. Awesome, Scotty. Nice, Caleb. Take one last breath. Yes. Come back to crescent lunge, soft landing if possible. Inhale, nice work. Exhale, bring your hands down. Add a twist, so left hand stays on the ground, right arm to the sky. I personally lift to my left fingertips. You can use a block under your left hand if you want. Strong through your legs. Imagine you want to pull your right hip back, but at the same time, your right knee is magnetized to your left armpit. Back knee can come down to modify. If your back knee is lifted, your back foot and your back leg are super strong. Take one more breath down into your belly. Use your exhale to twist, twist, twist. End of your exhale, release. Sweep your hands all the way over to the left long edge of your yoga mat, wide-legged forward fold. Give yourself a moment to just hang out wherever you want to go here. So maybe you hang out in a forward fold, or maybe you want to take Skandasana, bend one knee and then the other. Maybe you want to play with a headstand. Maybe you want to bend both knees a few times, straighten both legs a few times, back and forth. Yeah, interlace your fingers behind your back. So feel whatever there is to feel. Notice whatever there is to notice. Just like our regular forward fold, try not to rock back into your heels. The weight just slightly forward, more in your toes, more in the balls of your feet. Thanks, Mary Jo. If I had a piece of paper, I wanted to slide it underneath your heels, it would be very easy for you to just lift them up. Beautiful. Make sure your toes aren't pointing out. If anything, you're very, very slightly pigeon-toed. Last couple rounds, if you're working somewhere, start to wrap it up. All right. Let's bring our fingertips to the ground and just walk your hands to the top of your mat. So you're in a low lunge. Step your back foot forward so you're in a forward fold. Inhale to a halfway lift position, lengthen. Exhale, bow, let it go. Root through your feet all the way to stand, arms to the sky. Now pause here, listen. Grab your left hand grab your left wrist with your right hand. Side body stretch up and over to the right. Option if you want only to add some legs. So if you want, left tiptoes off the right side of your mat. You want to square your hips as much as possible. So right hip pulls back, left hip pulls forward as you stretch your upper body to the right. If you get into the legs and you're like, something feels weird, it doesn't feel quite right, then come back to both feet on your mat. Nice, good, Jen. Breathe into your left waistline, left rib cage. Beautiful, one more round. Back to center as you inhale. Switch your grip, grab your right wrist, and then other side. So same option here. If you want, right tiptoes off the left side. It's like a diagonal lunge. Upper body to the left. Square off your hips. So pull your left hip back, right hip forward. Nice, Erin. Breathe into your right rib cage, the space between your ribs. One more round. Can you breathe bigger, deeper? And back to center. So come back to neutral, release your grip. Maybe back bend. Use your back strength, your mid and your upper back. Inhale, re-extend, find neutral, feel neutral. Swan dive all the way down. Exhale. Good. Halfway lift. Inhale. Breath to movement for a moment. Exhale. Plant your hands, feet back. Chaturanga. So see if you can keep that exhale going as you lower. Heart lifts as you breathe in. Nice loosey. Shoulders back and down. Good. And then down dog. Exhale. Beautiful halls. Inhale, left leg to the sky, stretch it out, strong and powerful. Now exhale, left knee, right elbow. So try not to let your shoulders collapse as you come forward. Inhale, back up, three-legged. Exhale, left to left, aim high, add the push-up if you want. Don't let your shoulder roll forward. Nice spot, inhale, back up. Beautiful, friends. Exhale, knee to your nose, and then step through softly. With your in-breath, crescent lunge, so legs strong, heart lifts, gaze lifts. Exhale, turbo, option for a back bend if you want. Back muscles strong to support the opening of your heart. Inhale, back to crescent, back to neutral. Exhale, hands to your front thigh, so adding on here. Lean forward. If you need to walk your back foot in just a bit, go for it. Hug in. So find your connection to center, and when you're ready, back foot floats up. So hips stay square. If it's helpful, bend your standing leg. Yeah. Gaze down, back of your neck long, back leg really powerful. Maybe you add some arms. As you add arms, don't let your spine round. Soften through your face. One more deep breath, fullest expression. Hey, Sally, see if you can land softly in crescent lunge. Good, Terry. Inhale, heart lifts. Exhale, hands come down. Twist. Right hand on the ground, left arm to the sky. Nice, Ali. So back leg is powerful and strong. It's like the entire pose is being powered by your back leg. It's coming out of your back toes, moving through your back leg, connecting to your center. Left hip pulls back. Left knee is magnetized to your right armpit. As you inhale into your low belly, see if you can feel when you exhale your belly button pulling away from your thigh. Twist a little bit further. Take one more round. Bring out. Yeah, end of your exhale, let it go. Nice, Hannah. Sweep your hands over to the right long edge of your yoga mat. So wide-legged straddle. Anywhere you want to take it on this side. So you can do the same thing, or you can do something completely different. Maybe you hold in one position, or maybe you explore a bunch of movement. Slow, deep breath. Thanks, Maggie. Wherever you choose to go, see if you can stay here. So I want to give you these moments to be with yourself rather than checking out, thinking about what you're doing later. See if you can stay right here on your mat with your body, with your breath, with sensation. Let it move through this wide open space that is you. Feel it all, welcome it all, witness it all. Take one last round. Fingertips on the ground if they're not already there. Crawl your hands to the top of your mat. Rotate your toes to face forward and step forward, forward fold. Inhale to a halfway lift position. Exhale, bow and fold. Root through your feet. Reverse swan dive all the way up. Arms to the sky. Hands to heart. Exhale. All right. We're going to play with balance. Biggest thing, be playful when you're playing with balance. So right foot roots down. Left heel towards your left butt cheek. So bend your left knee, heel towards your butt. Now, right hand is going to reach back and grab your left foot. Left arm to the sky. So this may be where you stay. And if you can see my right hip's kind of shooting out to the right, focus on hugging towards midline, right shoulder back, and your knees are flirting with each other, trying to kiss each other. So squeeze in. This can be where you stay. If you want to take it further, little bend in your right leg like shock absorbers. Start to hinge at your hips. You're in a twisted dancer pose. Kick foot into hand, pull hand back into foot. Heart stays lifted like you're doing a baby cobra, hug in with your inner thighs. 2 more rounds of breath wherever you are. See if you can stay balanced on your right foot, standing staff pose. So slowly, 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 release your left foot, arms to the sky, left knee is out in front of your body. You can extend your left leg if you want to. One more inhale. Exhale, slow motion to a low lunge. See if you can hit a warrior 3 on your way there. So slowly find warrior 3, maybe one big, huge breath. And then land in your low lunge, left toes to the back of your mat. All right, from here, back knee comes down gently, moving into half splits. So I like to keep my hips over my back knee. Some people like to bring their hips all the way to their back heel. It's like a half screaming toe pose if you tuck your toes under. Yeah. So work your right leg towards straight. Flex your right toes back towards your shin. And imagine you're trying to pull your right heel back. Imagine you're trying to stick your right butt cheek out behind you as you reach your heart forward. So you're not trying to curl your tailbone under and tuck your butt under. You're trying to stick your butt out. Make it big, heart forward. Yeah. Big breaths, about 3 more. Really nice, you guys. Soften around the sensation. So if it's so uncomfortable, just notice that and breathe into it. Know that it's only temporary. One last round. Nice pulse. All right, let's slowly come back into a low lunge position. And then lift your back knee up. So strong lunge position now. Left hand on the ground or a block, right arm to the sky, revolve lunge. Option to turn it into a revolve triangle. So you might scoot your left hand back just a bit. See if you can lift your right butt cheek up and press back through the top of your right thigh. So get your front leg as straight as you possibly can. Keep twisting, keep squeezing your inner thighs. See if you can gaze up at your right fingertips. Nice, Kevin. Take one last big breath. Good job. End of your exhale, low lunge position. So bend your front knee. Bring your hands to the inside of your right foot. Walk your foot out to the width of your mat, or maybe even off of your mat, maybe even on the hardwood floor. Back knee can stay lifted or come down. Start to lower your upper body towards the ground. Try not to let your front knee come forward of your ankle. So not that that's inherently bad, but if you do, it's just the mobility starts to now come from your knee and your ankle rather than your hip. So knee over your ankle or a little bit behind. You can spin your right toes out to the right. Nice, Paul. Try not to collapse your weight to the left, but encourage your weight to the right and even just slightly forward. Jen, if it's uncomfortable, know that it's uncomfortable probably for almost 90% of the people in here at least. And just be with it for a moment longer. Breathe into it, soften around it, let go of resisting it. Last couple of breaths, open mouth sighs if you want. Really nice. Come back up to your hands. So plant your hands under your shoulders. If your back knee's on the ground, lift it up. Work your right foot back until you're in a plank position. Inhale, top with your push-up. Exhale, slowly lower down, all the way to your belly. Start with a baby cobra. So lift using your back strength, not your arm strength. Gaze slightly down, back of your neck long. See if you can keep your chest lifted, but keep pressing down through the tops of your feet and through your pelvis. Lift your hands, reach your hands back towards your heels. Hey, Sam. So don't let your legs lift. Yeah, use your back strength. Awesome. Nice, Brandy. Bend your elbows and imagine your elbows are magnetized. See if you can squeeze them a little bit closer. Take one more big inhale. Awesome, Caleb. Let it go. Rest your head to either side. Breathe into your low back if you want to kind of shake your hips side to side or windshield wiper your shins. And then in your next couple of breaths, start transitioning back, downward facing dog. Just walk it out for a moment in your down dog. Maybe notice the difference between right side and left side. Reconnect to your ujjayi. See if you can hear it. All right. Great big inhale into your down dog. Exhale, look to the top of your space, however you want to get there. Forward fold. Halfway lift as you breathe in. Exhale, let it go. Root through your feet, lead with your heart, rise up. Arms to the sky. Hands to heart, exhale. All right. This time balancing on our left foot, right heel towards your right butt cheek. Find your balance there. So bend your knee, heel towards your butt. Left hand reaches back, grab your foot. So if you have to get kind of wonky to get hold of your foot, that's okay. Let's see if you can then come back into your best alignment. Hug towards midline, left shoulder rolls back and down, right arm to the sky. If this is hard, maybe this is where you stay and just work with your balance. Awesome. If you want to start to work the pose, little bend in your standing leg, hinge at your hips, kick foot into hand, pull hand back into foot, twisted dancer. I know it's hard. I know it's awkward. You guys look so good. See if you can keep that little lift in your heart. Yes, 2 more rounds. Inner thighs hug in. Breathe down into your belly. Nice air. Come out as slow as you can. So stay balanced on your left foot. Standing staff pose. Arms to the sky. Right knee lifts. Flex your toes. Maybe extend your right leg forward. One more inhale. Low lunge in slow motion. You're transitioning back. So see if you can find warrior 3. Take 1 deep breath in your warrior 3. And then land softly, low lunge, right toes to the back of your mat. Going into our half splits. So back knee comes down gently. Your hips can move back to rest on your back heel or stay stacked over your front knee, or back knee, I should say. So flex your left toes. And rather than pushing your heel forward, pull it back. So like you're trying to stick your left butt cheek out, not roll or tuck your butt cheek underneath you. Good, Leanne. So heart reaches forward as your left butt cheek pulls back. And you can round through your upper back if you want to. Forehead towards your shin, nose towards your knee. Take about 2 or 3 more. Sometimes in this pose, my left leg starts to shake. That's not a bad thing. So if you find, I call it the sacred tremble, just be with it. It's your edge. Soften, breath by breath. Very nice. Last round, soften your face. Come back to right here, be in your body. Start to move forward into a lunge again. So low lunge. And then lift your back knee. So find a strong, sturdy, low lunge, adjusting your legs if needed. Thanks, Mary Jo. So moving into a revolve lunge, right hand down, left arm up. You can use a block under your right hand if you want to. From revolve lunge, moving into a revolve triangle variation. So start to lift your left butt cheek up, and press the top of your left thigh back. Squeeze your inner thighs. Twist from your center as you exhale. Pull your belly button away from your front thigh. Yeah, beautiful. So I like the variation where I'm balanced from my back toes. Some of you are putting your back heel down. That's fine. Whatever works best for you. Last breath, long spine. Twist as you exhale. Nice work. End of your exhale. Let it go. Bend your front knee. So come back into your low lunge. Walk your left foot out to the width of your mat, maybe even off the edge of your mat. You might walk your back foot back a little bit. So create a wider stance if you'd like. Maybe back knee comes down. Start to lower your upper body down. Yeah. Good. So back knee can stay lifted for more intensity, or back knee can come down for less. If there's a variation you want to move into, feel free. Breathe into your hips. If it's uncomfortable, just let it be uncomfortable. Not bad, just uncomfortable. Breathe into it, soften around it. Let energy move through. So any places it feels like something gets stuck, maybe your breath gets stuck, how can you adjust to let everything just flow? Sometimes I feel like energetically, emotions get stuck in my back body. I don't let them just flow through me. So get curious about where does energy get stuck. Take 2 more rounds. Open mouth exhales if you want. Good job. End of your next exhalation. Come back up to your hands if you're not already there. Plant them firmly underneath your shoulders. And then back knee lifts. Work your left foot back. So plank position. Take an inhale. Push the ground away. Lots of strength. And then exhale, lower. All the way to your belly. Start with your baby cobra. Using your back strength. Lift your heart. Just like we did before, float your hands up, reach your hands back. This time, go ahead and lift your legs. So rather than taking your legs out wide, hug in with your inner thighs and imagine you're trying to rotate your inner thighs up towards the ceiling. Yeah. Maybe that bend in your elbows and try to squeeze your elbows towards each other. If you want, you can either interlace your fingers or take full floor bow. Bend both knees, reach back, grab both feet, kick feet into hands, pull hands back into feet. Try not to let your knees come out wide. Hug in. Breathe down into your belly. Back muscles hug around your spine. One last breath. Soften your face. End of your exhale. Let it go. Good work. Rest your head to either side. You can shimmy your hips. You can windshield wiper, egg beater your shins. As you're ready, downward facing dog. Good job. All right. Inhale your right leg to the sky. And this time, go ahead and open your hips. So bend your knee. Stack right hip on top of left. Stay here as long as you want. So if this feels really good, give yourself a couple more breaths. Whenever you're ready, come into your pigeon pose, right shin to the top of your mat. Set your body down gently. And if you'd rather take this on your back or in a seat, absolutely, please feel free to do so. If you're in regular pigeon, right knee towards the outer right edge of your mat. Right hip pulls back, left hip pulls forward. So plug the femur bones in and then bow forward. And I'll come around with a little spritz. If anybody doesn't want a spritz, just give me a little wave in the air of your hand. No offense taken. A big, spacious breath. If you can notice, where do you hold tension without even realizing it? So are you tensing up through your eyebrows, your forehead, your jaw, your cheeks, your tongue? Are you tensing up through your back body, through the back of your heart, through your shoulder? Is there a way that you could breathe a little bit bigger, a little bit deeper? So we are in our yoga practice. We are not judging, but we're just observing. We're just taking in information. We're just noticing how we are, where we go when we're uncomfortable, where we go when we don't want to be here. And then over and over again, we bring ourselves back to our body, to our breath, to this present moment. And that's the yoga, more than the poses. Just being with yourself, feeling whatever there is to feel, noticing whatever there is to notice as it moves through. Take about 3 more breaths. An invitation, if you want, last big inhale, fill up as big as you can, hold. Maybe an extra sip. Big sigh. Very nice. Slowly start a transition back to either 3-legged dog or regular down dog. So if you take it to a 3-legged dog, give your right leg a little shake out. And if you want, you can even flip your dog as a counter pose. You can get back to your down dog in any way. So it doesn't have to be fancy. If you want to move through a vinyasa, if you want to hang out in a child's pose for a breath or two, take a couple cat-cows. Nice job, friends. And then when you're ready, left leg to the sky, open your hip. So give yourself a moment to be here. Feel that opening in the front of your left hip. When you're ready, pigeon pose, left shin forward, body comes down gently. So invitation as you sit in your pigeon pose, as you breathe. This is an invitation of acceptance. So ask yourself, what do I know to be true right now that I do not want to accept? What do I know to be true right now that I do not want to accept? Feel your body tensing up around the truth. And breath by breath, invite it to soften. So maybe it's a physical truth. Maybe it's something happening in your life. Feel, where does your body tense up around it? And then breath by breath, you allow energy to flow, your body to soften. You're not forcing yourself to relax. You're not trying desperately to relax. You're just allowing yourself to be with whatever's there. So if you're so uncomfortable and anxious, just be so uncomfortable and anxious and breathe into it. You hate this pose so bad, just let yourself hate it, but be with it. Breathe into it. You love this pose. Soak it in. Feel every little bit of sensation down in your hips. Feel how big you can breathe. Whatever's there, just let it be there. Not trying to control. Not trying or forcing relaxation. It's really so counterproductive if we try to force anything, especially relaxing. Take about 3 more breaths. Good job, you guys. Invitation if you want to take your last breath here with me. So next time you inhale, just fill up as big as you can. Hold, maybe an extra sip, send it all the way down into your hips. Sigh it out. Slowly begin transitioning back. So downward facing dog or 3-legged dog. Maybe you give your left leg a little shake out in your 3-legged dog, or roll out your ankle. Maybe you take a wild thing or flip your dog as a counter pose. Eventually just walk it out. And if you'd rather choose a child's pose and rest, fine with me. If you want one last vinyasa, now is your time to take it. Beautiful, friends. So wherever you've chosen to be, one last big deep breath, just feeling it all. And then slowly find your way onto your back. You can face whichever direction you want to. You can get there however you'd like to. So come down onto your back, and once you're there, just hug your knees in and gently rock from side to side. Give your low back a little massage against the ground, maybe feeling some little pressure points in your low back. And then eventually supine spinal twist. So you can either just let your knees fall to the right, or if you want to, maybe there's a variation that's calling to you. So cross your legs, one leg straight, windshield wiper variation. Gaze is up or over your left shoulder. And after about 4 or 5 breaths on this side, switch slowly to the other side. You start to really let the ground hold you. So notice where you try to keep holding yourself up. Just let your body really give in. And then no rush. Whenever you feel pretty even on both sides with your twists, bring your legs back to center and take any finishing poses that you would like. So maybe that's a happy baby, maybe that's an inversion of some sort. Maybe that's just squeezing your knees in. Give yourself one last big squeeze. So slowly, friends, start your transition into your final relaxation. Let your breath just become effortless. Let your body just give into gravity. So as much as you can, as I play my bowl, see if you can just let the vibrations, let the sound be felt with your body. So rather than hearing just with your mind and just with your head, if you can truly feel from your body. And just let whatever comes, come, whatever goes, go. So if it feels intense or overwhelming, see if you can breathe into it, soften around it, just like you would an uncomfortable yoga pose. Take a deep breath in. And let it go. Just start to bring gentle movement back into your physical body. As you feel ready, roll to either side, fetal position. And just give yourself a moment to rest on your side. And just let your practice really settle inside of you, really absorb into you. Maybe there's some way you visualize that. Use the strength of your arms to guide yourself up into seated meditation. So right back where we began. Close your eyes and bring your hands to your heart. And let's close our practice together with one Om. So Om is symbolically the vibration of the universe, the vibration that binds all living things, all living creatures together as one, the sound that was there before anything else even existed. So let it come from your gut, your root, all the way down, not your head and just your throat, but let it vibrate through your entire body. So not worrying about how you sound, but just focusing more on how it feels as it moves through you. So exhale all your air out, clear your throat if you need to. Breathe in your voice. Namaste. All right, friends.